Well, we're in the home stretch now, guys. It's almost Christmas, and I'm really glad you've hung in there with me. In case you're wondering what I'm making, it's nut salsa. No joke. I'm gonna have it with our prime rib. So, brief story time, but Christmas Eve started out in the wee hours for us in the Cat Voice household. Mr. Cat Voice woke up in the middle of the night and found that the electricity was off. Much of the country is well below freezing right now, and our state is no exception. In the 2.5 hours that the lights were out, our house went from being 70 degrees to 64. Lucky for us, power was reinstated pretty quickly, but that was a pretty scary time. So when the lights came on, and it came to about 6 a.m., we headed out for Walmart. While I have a bunch of 3-wick candles around, it's a bit much when they're all competing and you're using the candles for light. So we headed out and loaded up on unscented votive candles, tea lights, and even little prayer candles in glass jars. I'll show you why later in the video. With these record low temperatures hanging around for a few days, I didn't want to risk it. Wintertime's no joke if you don't have heat. In my family, we always have beef on Christmas Eve, so I got this little prime rib for me and Mr. Cat Voice. You want to heavily salt it on both sides and let it dry out a little bit in the fridge. I'm going to do a reverse sear. While I waited for the oven to come up to 225 degrees, I started making my nut salsa. I have a whole video about it if you want to see how it's made. But today I just made a big batch, some for us and some to give away. When the oven comes up to 225, go ahead and put the prime rib in and set a timer for the first hour. I'm shooting for medium rare at 145 degrees, and that took about 2.5 hours at this low temperature. You finish off the prime rib with a quick sear at 500 degrees. It's actually kind of neat the way it all works. Nut salsa is the perfect thing to eat with prime rib. It's nutty and earthy, and it doesn't take away from the flavor of the meat. I'm also making some mashed potatoes and steamed asparagus, as well as some Hawaiian rolls that I'm just heating up. If you want to try to make prime rib at home, look up the reverse sear method. I've always had great results with it. So before I go, here's why we went to Walmart to get these candles. Unscented, votive candles can burn and provide you with both light and heat. Make sure you check their burn time and that you have some sort of cover for them, something with a vent like this upside-down flower pot. While they're not as good as a space heater, they'll do in a pinch, and the flower pot, with the hole in the bottom, funnels the hot air up in a stream. Just make sure that it's made out of clay or unglazed terracotta. This setup is great to have in case of a blackout.